What's up, y'all? Before we begin, I do not recommend Ken as the first character you pick up in this game. Ken plays a bit differently to the rest of the cast in the game. He doesn't rely on persona attacks like most of the other characters. Instead, Ken is a puppet character who has attacks that are performed by his pet dog Koromaru, oftentimes simultaneously with Ken's own spare attacks. And having to basically play 1.5 characters starting out isn't the best idea. That being said, although Ken is not easy to pick up and play, he's very rewarding when you master the playstyle, and people will absolutely hate fighting you. And trust me, people running from you because of your skill is one of the best feelings in fighting games for your ego. Major thanks to Axis, the top-ranked Ken player on PlayStation, for providing the gameplay footage. You may realize that the footage is of the Shadow version of Ken. Most players agree that the Shadow version is superior for many reasons, none of which you need to be too concerned with right now as a beginner to the character, because we need to lock down the fundamentals first. Ken's playstyle is geared towards controlling space to keep your opponent at the perfect distance where you can oppress them with your ranged normals in combination with Koromaru's attacks. Then off of hit confirms, you can string together very high damaging meterless combos into hard knockdown, where you can put them in the vortex to get opened up again. Ken benefits from normal attacks that have ridiculous reach. This enables his amazing neutral game, as well as allows you to punish certain attacks and set up situations that the opponents aren't used to being able to be punished for. These ranged attacks also lend themselves towards a great keep away game, which allows you to keep the opponent exactly where you want them. And once you figure out how to pressure correctly with Koromaru, you can pretty much lock down the opponent forever. And as soon as they make that first mistake trying to get out of the insane pressure that you put them under, any hit can be confirmed into a combo that wipes out chunks of the opponent's life bar. And it doesn't stop there. Because Koromaru acts independently of Ken, as long as you finish the combo with one of Ken's special attacks, Koromaru can initiate the pressure on the downed opponent immediately. Also, Ken doesn't really rely on his persona at all. Although you only have 2 persona cards, you will rarely ever get a persona break. And even if you do get it broken, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't hamper your offense as much as it does to other characters. What you absolutely cannot do without though is Koromaru. As I mentioned before, Koromaru has his own health bar that you need to pay attention to make sure that the opponent doesn't take him out. Without Koromaru, you become pretty much the most useless character in the game. All of your attacks become tremendously unsafe. If you do get a hit, then you can't do much damage. And getting sustained pressure against the blocking opponent becomes pretty much impossible. Pretty much all of Ken's attacks also have very high recovery, so you cannot whiff anything or you will get punished hard. Ken also has very mediocre defensive options to go along with very low total health relative to the rest of the cast, so that means games can swing heavily against you if the opponent is able to build momentum early on. For example, Ken's 2B is not very good at anti-airing. So if they're able to break through that range that you want to play them at, then it can be a rough time. When the opponent picks up momentum, you do have the option to DP, but Ken's furious action is also kind of mediocre. Okay, now for a quick overview of the important parts of Ken's move list. If you want a super detailed breakdown, you can check out dustloop.com. Off the rip, while you're messing around with Ken in training mode, you may realize quickly that his normals are different from the average cast member. You can jump or run cancel most of his normal moves, and a lot of the light attacks don't cancel into each other. More than any other character, you need a fine grasp of Ken's moveset or you'll be whiffing slow moves all day and the opponent will take advantage of you. 5A is a quick and reliable move that also hits grounded opponents. Ken's auto combo has the third hit automatically call out Koromaru's 5C attack, but you can prevent that by performing the auto combo while holding backwards. This can be very useful in combos, but it is insanely negative on block since the whole point of Koromaru's 5C in the block string is to cover the recovery frames for Ken's spare attacks. 2A is a good low hitting poke with above average range for a down A, but it's bad to use defensively since it's not very fast. It also doesn't cancel into his 5A. 5B is Ken's move that you'll be using very often. It has great range and is amazing as a counter poke tool. 2B is a 2-hit move that isn't a very good anti-air as I mentioned before. It's mostly used in combos and pressure, and it can also pick up grounded opponents. Ken's jumping attacks are all really good ranged air attacks. Jumping A hits 3 times. Jumping B can cross up with its large hitbox and is also a great combo starter. And his command jumping attack, jumping 2B, immediately slams opponents into the ground. It's a very good combo tool that we'll go into a bit later on. Ken's sweep is okay. It still has above average range like his other normals and can be used to low profile certain attacks, but you won't really pull it out too often outside of combos. Now this is where you start to realize Ken is a very different character. His C and D attacks use Koromaru instead of his persona. 5C sends Koromaru to tackle the opponent. You can use this attack at any time no matter what you're doing except while blocking or getting hit. It's a great all-around tool in neutral. It covers the startup of a lot of your attacks to begin pressure, as well as keeping the opponent locked down to continue block strings. It also covers the recovery for moves, keeping them safe. One thing though is that Koromaru has to recover after this move, so he cannot immediately act after 5C. 2C has Koromaru track the opponent and hit them with a launcher. This has very little recovery after being performed, and it's sometimes a better anti-air than your spare attacks. 5D calls back Koromaru, and you can hold it to send Koromaru off screen where he can recover health, and he can be recalled with C where he will perform a diving attack at the opponent. Ken's throw is very good because you can combo directly from it with Koromaru or other normal attacks. His DP is a very heavy risk reward thing. You'll eat a bunch of damage if it's blocked, but you can also completely destroy the opponent on counter hit. You can also cancel the end of the blocked attack into AB supers on the ground and the CD super in the air, so you may be able to avoid punishment against less skilled opponents that may not know exactly how to punish this DP. Quarter circle forward AB gives you charge thrust, a far-reaching move that's central to your game plan in opening the opponent up and continuing combos. You want to make sure that you cover the very slow startup of this move in pressure and neutral with Koromaru. You can also follow up with A or B for a persona attack afterwards. The A version leads to a hard knockdown, while the B and SB version are very good on block due to the frame advantage that you get from them. Quarter circle back AB heals Ken's blue health as well as Koromaru's health bar. Quarter circle forward CD has Koromaru spin from his location and is mainly used for combos with the D version. Quarter circle back CD has Koromaru perform a jump spin attack, which is your main tool for setups after combos. Ken's quarter circle forward AB super can be used as a combo ender and also another high risk reversal due to its invincibility frames. Double quarter circle forward CD is a good tool for punishing zoners making spacing mistakes and for certain combos as well. Ken's awakening super, double quarter circle back AB, is by far his best reversal, so always be cognizant of having enough meter to perform this instead of his DP. Okay, so normally I would set y'all up with a basic mid-screen combo, corner combo, one more cancel combo, anti-air combo, and counter hit combo. But if you still haven't picked this up by now, the theme here is that Ken is built different. Ken's combos quickly spike in difficulty of execution, so we're going to start super simple and ladder our way up to some combos that are hard, but you still need to understand and perform them starting out, because if you're not converting his hits into high damage, then you're making the game way too hard on yourself and you may as well not play the character. I'm going to walk you through mastering the different components of individual small combos, and we're going to combine them all at the end into Ken's true bread and butter combo that you absolutely need to get down packed. So to begin, this will help you understand the essence of Ken's combo routes. You need to be able to use Koromaru's special moves in tandem with Ken's attacks to extend the combo. Koro specials can be cancelled at any time, so unlike other characters, Ken and Koromaru combo chains can feel very loose and leave lots of room for error. Mastering the timing for each combo component is paramount. For starters, you need to hold backwards while performing the auto combo because you do not want Koromaru to launch with his C attack, because you want to be able to execute the quarter circle forward D attack. Now the timing that you want to aim for with the thrust into quarter circle forward D is you want Koromaru to hit the opponent at that frame right before they fully recover. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the point is that you want them to still be getting hit by Koromaru while you have enough time to perform the quarter circle forward B. If you have trouble with this, then you can put the auto combo part out and just practice the first charge thrust, Koromaru spin, and then catching them with the second charge thrust after recovery. And now once you've got that down, we can perform combos off of confirms like 2A, 2B, 5B. So now, we're going to get a little bit more wild by throwing in a second Koro special into the combo. You have a bit of time between the pull from the 2-3-6B where the opponent kind of slides towards you, so use that to your advantage in making sure Koro's spin doesn't push them too far away for you to dash up and hit them with an auto combo finisher. Now you see how we got that first charge thrust timing really tight with the Koromaru spin attack? This is where we get some of that payoff, because the sooner that you hit them with the charge thrust B, the closer they are to you, and the easier it is to follow up with the Koromaru C spin and the dashing auto combo. A little trick that I use, which you don't have to by any means, but it works for me, is that I input 2-3-6C and quickly press and hold forward again right after that to dash immediately, since the 2-3-6 counts as a sort of buffer for the first part of the dash command. This allows you to catch up to the opponent faster and gives you better timing for the auto combo at the end. Now many of you are probably thinking that that combo was hard enough, but we're still not there yet. Now, you're going to have to master this little string that can be super hard for a lot of players, myself included. You're going to need to launch the opponent and then hit them with a air combo while executing Koromaru's spin D attack on the ground, which you knock them into and then finish the combo. So before we dive straight into this combo, let's practice the air attack part. The easiest way to practice is launch the opponent with Koro's 2C and jump so that you catch them with a jumping A at a shallow angle, like this. Then jump cancel immediately to put yourself at the right height to learn this combo extension. Hit the opponent with a jumping A and then a jumping B, like you would in a regular air combo, but immediately input the command for Koromaru's quarter circle forward D spin, and then you use jumping 2B to knock the opponent into Koromaru's attack. This may come naturally for some players, and if you're one of them, then I envy you, but most players will struggle with this. Practicing this can get very frustrating very quickly, but stick with it. The payoff in terms of how much damage you can add to combos with this is definitely worth it. Now we can combine it all to create the basic bread and butter combo for Ken. I know basic shouldn't be the word to describe this monster of a combo, but there's no point in playing this character without maximizing your damage output, so we'll just call it the basic combo for now. Yes, the advanced combos do get even more insane than this one. You should be adept at the starter part of the combo by now since you practice it so much. Immediately after the charge thrust B, you want to pick up the sliding opponent with 2B and perform the air combo extender that we just learned. Whew, I'll tell you what, most characters are not getting 3500 damage mid-screen without using any meter. But throw in a super move at the end of this combo and that's half of the opponent's life bar right there. Again, I know it's not easy, but practice, practice, practice. Getting through that combo was hard enough, so we're not going to cover any other combos here and we're going to save it all for the advanced guide. So now we're going to focus on strategy and gameplay. The major thing that I want you to keep in mind as a key focus when starting out playing Ken in actual matches is to look for that 5B and confirm your hits into full combos to do a lot of damage. I know that sounds simple, but if you go into matchups with this in mind, you will see immediate success. Ken is all about set play. If you don't know what set play in fighting games is, it's basically an old sports term that refers to having a set game plan that you execute when the situation calls for it. On pretty much any knockdown, you want to use Koromaru's quarter circle back attack to initiate pressure so that your opponent is immediately engaged in a block string or can be counter hit. You want to practice knocking down the opponent in training mode so that you know exactly when to throw out Koromaru's spin attack so that you leave as little of a gap as possible for the opponent to do something like roll out of your pressure. Another tip, remember to play at your range. You want to keep the opponent in that sweet spot where you can lock them down and then exploit any hit into major damage. A major part in playing keep away with that range game is converting air-to-air hits when the opponent tries to get in on you. If you can convert into the full Koromaru extension, that elevates your damage output in an amazing way. So yeah, capitalize on the range of those jumping air normals based off the matchup. It's particularly strong against rushdown characters that have no other way to get in on you except by jumping over your spear attacks. Always begin and continue block pressure with Koromaru to cover your gaps. You want to keep track of Koromaru's positioning at all times and also remember to recoil him in some situations. Utilize Koromaru to interrupt opponent attacks and hit them with a mean punish. And the last note for Ken, you need solid defensive fundamentals, so if you don't already have them, then playing Ken will definitely level your defensive game up. You need to know when to just block and wait for the right opening, even if that means letting the opponent get 7 block strings off in a row. His DP has short horizontal range, so it can be baited in pressure. So if you have to go for it, make sure that it's in the situation where you have enough meter to cancel into super. And that about does it for the fundamentals of playing Ken. Stay tuned for the advanced guide, where I'll be going over some more in-depth concepts with the character. And hopefully I'll see you next time.